This is Sean Granham, aka Sean Gran, and today I'm talking to one of the most exciting prospects to gain prominence this year, and his name is Swindail. How are you doing
Hello.
today?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Awesome. So, what's your musical background?
My musical background, when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, I don't know, Mum just showed me the trumpet and was like, do you want to play this? And so, being a young kid, saw a shiny instrument, of course I wanted to have a go. I guess from there I never really stopped. I switched over to trombone in high school, and I've been playing brass instruments pretty much up until this day. Doing a little bit of piano as well, but that's sort of like an on and off thing. It's more just for me, not so much performing. Playing instruments has been a big part of my life ever since I was young, so yeah.
So does that mean you still play the trombone?
Yeah, I just finished high school, so I haven't been playing as much, but yeah, I just finished some big exams for trombone. So yeah, pretty intense stuff, but still playing, still going hard.
Awesome. And you made it sound like you're doing performances with that, is that right?
Me playing brass instruments, I was sort of brought up on more of not so much a classical, but a traditional sort of background. And so, I would be doing a lot of performances for school assessments and that sort of thing. Not so much performing as in like a concert or whatever, but just a lot of sort of training and schooling, educational stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so how did you get into production then?
Production? I think when I was maybe 11 or 12 years old, I remember my parents, they bought this big Mac, like desktop computer, and it comes like with iPhoto and iMovie and like GarageBand and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure I just hopped on there one day and I just wanted to mess around with GarageBand, so I hopped on, and you've got all these like crappy like inbuilt loops and stuff, and I was just sticking them all together and seeing what they sound like. And I mean, if you had to listen to the stuff I was putting together back then, it sounded bloody awful, but I don't know, that sort of experimentation, it just got me really interested, and so I sort of did my research and got into it a bit more. And then when I was maybe like 14 or 15 or something, I discovered Ableton, and I sort of just worked really hard at getting myself familiar with that. And I don't know, same thing. I just never really stopped, and here I am.
Awesome. So what kind of music did you grow up on as far as like what your parents were playing?
Yeah. Honestly, my parents aren't. It's strange. I'm really the only musical person in my family, both close and extended. So not too much influence actually came from my parents, but I guess my dad does. He sort of brought me up a little bit on some older rock stuff like The Clash, the Sex Pistols and whatnot. I mean, a lot of the music that I got brought up onto was through playing trombone and stuff like that. So I'm really big on jazz and the big band stuff, and that's, I guess, sort of present in the music that I make. I really like to put all these like funky licks and stuff in there just because it's the stuff I've been playing ever since I was young. And then I guess hip hop and stuff. I honestly, it's hard to say, man. Like, just been open and listening for a few years now. It's not so much being brought up by a particular person or whatnot. I just have an open mind to it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you've just encountered different sources or influences, and obviously they lead to other ones as well.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like a particular wasn't like a particular catalyst for one thing. Yeah, it was just sort of me being, I don't know, experiencing the world around me, if that makes sense. Yeah,
it does. So have you always produced as Swindail, or did you have a different alias?
No, I had a bunch of different aliases, which I won't tell you because they're really embarrassing. But I had like a bunch of different aliases. I was making like glitch hop and dubstep stuff back when I was a bit younger. The whole Swindail like beats type thing only really came to fruition like maybe just under a year ago. So it's been pretty nuts, all the attention it's been receiving. It's cool.
Yeah, so what was the first song you uploaded as Swindail? Because right now I think it's Gellaitry Groove, but I'm pretty sure you
no,
take it down.
I've way more before that. Yeah, that was actually how long ago? That was like 6 months ago actually. But no, there's definitely more stuff that I have uploaded before that. Oh god, first thing as Swindail. That's really hard to tell, man. I've got all these old demos. I think one of them was called Ode to Skunk Paste or something like that. Skunk Paste is like this really weird YouTuber who just makes really messed up videos, and I don't know. I just made I wanted to make something really weird, so I just called it that. I think that might have been the first one that I uploaded to Swindail, but that demo is long gone now. I don't know if anyone could find it, but yeah. It's been a long time since then.
I'm sure there'll be a couple of people hunting after they hear this interview. But, did you ever send it to him?
Clean it up and I might clean it up and upload it or something. Who knows?
For sure, man. I mean, it's your first one, so it must be kind of important at the same time. Just out of interest, where does Swindail come from?
I get this question all the time. Swindail is my surname. It really is.
Oh, okay. See.
Yeah. People ask me like, yeah, what does Swindail mean and stuff? And I go, oh, that's just my name. Yeah. Oh yeah, but what does it mean? Like, yeah, it's just my last name. It's a weird last name, but it's stuff.
No, I think it's cool. It's just interesting because I mean, seeing Sid Swindail.
Yeah.
Like you just start telling people I'm Sid and then what's the Swindail.
Yeah, well, that's my full name, Sid Swindail, or Sydney, if you prefer, but yeah.
Cool. So speaking of Gellaitry Groove, that might be the track most people know you for. How did that song come together, and has Sam ever heard it?
I've actually received a bunch of criticism for like the name Gellaitry Groove, which is fair enough. I mean, people raise a good point. When the reason why I called it Gellaitry Groove was because one of my friends told me about like supposedly what sample packs he uses and stuff. So I just went and downloaded a bunch of them and just messed around with all these percussion sounds, and I made like a really sort of complex like percussion loop out of them. I didn't really know what to call it, so I just called it Gellaitry Groove because I don't know, I was jacking Gellaitry style or whatever. People tell me it doesn't even sound like him, which is a fair point. But I mean, I don't know if he's actually heard it or not, but I did a remix contest for that tune like a couple months after I put it out, and Sam Gellaitry commented on like the Facebook post that I made saying, "Can I enter?" And I was just, right, yeah, you cheeky bugger. So I was just like, yeah, you can only do that if it's going to be like a generic trap remix. But I don't know, man. I guess he might have heard it. I know he heard the I did this EP teaser thing, and he liked that. So I think I know. I think he knows who I am, or the fact that I exist. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
But am I not wrong in that you actually use sounds from the Short Stories EP in the song?
Yes. Good point. Yeah, I sampled Monochrome.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? The End. Yeah.
Yeah. Thought so.
Yeah.
It does have some relation.
I guess so, yeah. And I don't know the legalities of that, but yeah.
No, it's cool, man. I mean, it's a great song on its own, regardless of the relation to Sam. Did you expect it to blow up as much as it did? Because it was originally a demo, wasn't it? And then you were asking...
It was a demo. It was really strange. Like, I remember when I uploaded it. I uploaded the the preview demo thing. It was literally me just messing around with the percussion, and I put up like a 50-second demo of it or something. And this was like at 3:00 in the morning because I was doing some music homework that I had like due the next day, and I just couldn't be bothered. So I just started like messing around on Ableton, and I put this up just almost like half not serious, like a not a joke, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And yeah, people were just like, yeah, finish this. I was like, oh crap, like, hey, you guys actually like this? That's weird. But anyway, after that I just finished it up and I released it through Zen Supremacy on their Stay Zen tape. And yeah, I don't even know how that got so much the fact that so many people listen to it is quite weird. But it's cool, I guess. There's not much to complain about.
You sound so passive about success. But yeah, that's good because you led into my next question, which was going to be about that song being released through Zen Supremacy. How did you link up with the Amsterdam-based?
Yeah, Zen. I can't remember. This would have been earlier days. I don't know. I think I was just listening to one of their like compilations or releases or something, and I just commented something like something similar to like I love Zen Supremacy. It was just like showing general support, and the guy who runs it, Sin, I don't know how to pronounce it. .SINH.
Yeah, I question the pronunciation all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue, but yeah, he runs it, and he hit me up being like, "Yo, we'd love to like get you working with us," and I was like, "Yeah, cool." And they said, "Would you be down to do something for the compilation?" And so yeah, I just submitted that.
Awesome. And you also write the Alea blog occasionally, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it lately because I've just been a lazy turd, but I just started writing like little music reviews and stuff on this little Tumblr page I run like a few months ago. And I mean, I worked with the Alea guys because I released that tune Ciao on it. And I don't know, just the guys who are involved in that, they're all lovely. And I was just writing a few things up on this Tumblr page of mine, and I saw that they had a blog, and I just asked them, like, would it be cool if I like did like some guest blogging or whatever? And they said yeah, and they just got me in, and now I have like access to their WordPress and stuff, so I can pretty much just write something up and get confirmation and send it out. So yeah, it's cool for me that I get to like, I mean, if I'm feeling compelled to write something, give praise to a particular piece of music that I'm enjoying, and then get them a bit more exposure. I think that's really cool.
Because you started out writing music reviews on that blog just for yourself, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I haven't updated it for a while, but it still is. Yeah, just for me, pretty much. And like all the writing I do or have done, I just stick up there, and if I decide that I want to like use it for a bit more, then I go out to the Alea blog and say, hey, would it be cool if I got this up on your blog as well? So yeah.
Awesome. So what's the reason for the fuck Swindail hashtag and the Twitter handle, which is Swindail fuck?
Oh no. There's literally no reason. Actually, okay, half the time I'm just a total dick, and like for the Swindail Goes to America EP thing, the whole like the crowdfunded campaign and stuff, there were a few people who like didn't agree with it and stuff, and they were like, that I think that's like not respectful and like not putting you got to work hard for this sort of stuff, and I can see where they're coming from, but for me, I was just like, I think I'm doing like a smart thing, and I'm the sort of person who will say to other people, don't even worry about like people hating on you. But I'm the person who will worry. Like, like the one person that disagrees with me, I just have to win, So the fuck Swindail thing, it's just me being a twat, like a satirical twat. I don't know. It's like people mocking me,
Yeah, and I guess it makes it more okay as well when it is about, because you're almost pushing it forward, if that makes sense. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, but no, it's such a dumb thing, man. Like, honestly, I spurred so much crap out. Like,
I was just curious. It does sound kind of self-depreciative, but I mean, it's also just a thing. It's just me. Fuck Esther for a while.
Having a stab at the people who are hating on me, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you can't please everyone.
Yeah. Of course. So what's the scene like for your style of music in Australia? I obviously have my own opinion, but I'd like you to tell me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with I guess what I would like bracket my music under is like, it's sort of like instrumental hip hop, like the beat scene type thing, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, in Australia, it does exist. It's just a little bit more to the electronic music side as opposed to like the beats side, if you know what I mean. So like more EDM trap type stuff, is quite a prevalent thing here. And I have played a few gigs around here, and like I do have support in Australia, which is really cool. But I guess it's still like the whole and I hate using like the term selection to like to represent the entire thing, but you know what I mean.
Everyone does.
Instrumental, soulful, hip hop type stuff. It's still sort of an upcoming thing here, or at least from what I've seen, it's still sort of a thing that's coming up on the rise. And yeah, I guess I'm just trying to push it as much as I can.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I interviewed your homie Han808, aka Mahan.
Oh yeah.
He said the same thing about New Zealand.
Oh, really?
I'm sure that it's very similar for anywhere outside of America, specifically. For example, Japan, where I am as well, too. Yeah, so who would you say are like your producer homies in Australia? Because you work a lot with Montel 2099, I might be saying that wrong.
I haven't a lot, but we have been talking a lot, and I would love to work with him more. The reason why is because I went over to New Zealand to play a few shows just been a week or so ago, and yeah, I just linked up with him and Han808 and stuff, and just a great bunch of guys. It was really cool, and I'm so like upset that I was only there for 3 days. You know, like I had one day which we went into Red Bull Studios for, which was dope. And then 2 shows, and then I had to go home, and I was sort of pissed off that like I couldn't spend more time there. But yeah, those are, I guess, those guys. New Zealand. In Australia, producer homies, I've got like a few, but they aren't really just still coming up. Like just today, funny you should say that, I just got back from a couple hours ago. I just got back from Sydney, and my friend Bad Rapper is his alias.
Okay.
He's leased out this little spot in the city, which is sort of like just a little office studio space. Got nice monitors and just like some DJ gear and stuff. It's a really cool space to just vibe out and hang out with friends and make music and stuff. So yeah, I have a lot of producer friends who are still on the low, I guess. Who else? I've got some notable ones. Australia. We've got guys who are a little bit more into that. Like, I don't know if EDM is like an adequate term, but that side of for like the EDM trap type stuff. Yeah. We have Enshway and Lude and a bunch of other guys on this collective that I work with called the Southeast Grind. And then, yeah, I mean, that's sort of who I link with, but there are a lot of really talented Australian dudes that I would love to not just work with, but just to hang out with and vibe off of. Like Hers Lloyd is probably my strongest example. Yeah, he's crazy, and he came up to Sydney to play a show like a month ago or something, and he was like, he just he goes so hard when he's playing a set, and I really wanted to talk to him, but I didn't want to interrupt his vibe, so I didn't really get a chance to introduce myself and stuff. But yeah. Seems like a cool dude. And yeah, there's a bunch of other guys in Australia that I think I would like to do the same thing with. Just link up and meet, really.
Yeah, so the Southeast Grind, are they actually just Australian artists? Because I've got all the information so
not
far.
Just Australian artists, but a lot of them based here.
Yeah.
And mostly Australian. And then the guy who is behind it all is up in Brisbane. So yeah. There are a few guys who are out further, but yeah, I'd say a good majority of them are from Australia.
Awesome. So tell me about the Wuxi collective.
Wuxi. They are a bunch of, even more local than the Southeast Grind, actually. A bunch of local dudes that I've been talking to. The guy who runs it, TDY, he's the one who, he's behind it. And aside from him, we've got, me, a friend of mine, Gudu, and then a few other dudes who are a little bit further out from Sydney, Sequel Ventures, and a bunch of other guys. It's essentially just a local. We're big on the sort of like more trap, like dirty trap stuff. It's pretty much just another collective, and we've done a few like Wuxi takeover shows, which have been really cool. So yeah, that's basically what it is, just another team.
Awesome. So in your Other Bits of Me playlist, which collects your tracks and mixes uploaded by accounts that aren't your own, there's an entitled song by a supposedly American artist called Kagwe.
Yes, Kagwe.
Why is that in the playlist?
Okay, so it is a song that I worked on with him, but is it the one that has no title?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kagwe, he does that. Oh, Kogwe, I think is how it's pronounced actually. Yeah, but yeah, he does that a lot. Yeah, he does that. His whole SoundCloud page has no titles in his track.
I noticed that.
But but if you look in the link of all the stuff, then you do have the titles of his works. The one that we worked on should be called, and I'll just double check, Interpretation. And that was essentially, I'm actually just reading off the description right now. He had a bunch of old work in progress projects from a little while ago, and he sent one over to me, and he just said, "Oh, do you like this?" And I thought it was really cool, even though he sort of felt a little bit like half-assed about it. Yeah. And I thought it was really dope, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna work on this," and we just sent it back and forth, and that became what it was. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious about that. One of my favorite songs of yours is the Wii Shopping Channel, I think, something remix of Drop Girl by Ice Cube, Redfoo, and 2 Chainz. Like, I didn't even know that was a song.
Really?
Until I heard your remix.
It's pretty big. It's quite a big song.
Yeah, I'm like, I know current music, but at the same time, certain things just go over my head, or I just miss it somehow. But that remix is awesome. Are you big on video games?
Oh, look, I was when I was a bit younger. Now, I guess my technology usage is dominated mostly by producing. But yeah, back in the day, like, you know, when I was a bit younger, 14, 15, yeah, I was really big on video games. And I don't know, I think, like, you know those like SoundCloud accounts? Like, yeah, the one that like make audio jokes. It's like the equivalent on SoundCloud to like YouTube poops on YouTube, if you know what that is. Yeah. And I just heard one person, I don't know, he just sampled the Wii Shop music, and he just like transposed it down or something. And for some reason that blew my mind. I thought that was really cool. So I was like, damn, I really gotta do something with this. Honestly, that was like one of my oldest tracks. Before it became that Ice Cube, Redfoo, and 2 Chainz edit, I put it online as a faster beat. I think this was before I was even Swindail, and I called it Shopping Online. And then I took it down, and like 6 months later, I just realized I had the project, and I thought it sounded really cool when I slowed it down. So I slowed it down way more, and then I thought, you know what, a vocal would sound really cool on this. And who else than Ice Cube, 2 Chainz, and Redfoo? So I popped them on there, and I don't know, I sort of liked it, and I guess other people do too. It works really well at shows too, because no one expects it. Yeah. So it's really awesome. I'm glad I did that. I mean, it's a pretty simple edit, but I'm glad I have that in my stash now.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Like I said, it's a great track.
Yeah, thank you.
And speaking of those YouTube poop songs, I don't know if you've heard of this song. I was just listening to it because I have to go back all the time. It's like 15 seconds long. It's called Victory. It's by this dude called Young Terror, and it's basically like the Pokemon Victory theme with ASAP Ferg's, what's it called, Dump over it. I'll have to send it to you after. It's amazing. Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
I think it might have been on my feed once. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah. It sounds like something that would work.
So, what are your hobbies outside of music?
Lately, not so much like anything, but beforehand, let's see. I haven't been doing it much lately, but I want to get back into it. Ping pong is a thing that I really like doing. Oh yeah. I like baking desserts, cheesecake, namely. Let's see. God, hobbies. I'm a loser. Just playing music, not producing music. I'm big on searching for really good burgers around our city.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, we have this thing. It's Australia-wide. This like group on Facebook called the Fatties Burger Appreciation Society. It is a great group. There's almost like it's crazy. It's like 25,000 members now, and it's just essentially it's like a thing where people take pictures of the burgers that they go and eat, and then they review it, and they give the location, the cost, everything, so other people can go around and try them out and stuff. And it's become such a big thing that like burger restaurants have actually started like offering discounts to members of the group and that sort of thing. It is. It's a pretty cool thing. So yeah, I mean, lately that's been a thing that I've been doing. Yeah.
When you start doing your world tour, hopefully, which will happen in the future, you have to check out Tokyo because there's a couple of good places there.
Burgers in Tokyo, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of good places. And of course, like Kobe. Cool. Kobe beef is like world famous.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. How did it feel being approached by Film Noir to feature in the first of their Cinema Black series, which highlights young producers on the come up that they respect? Yeah,
that's dope. I mean, I don't mean to be one of those guys like, I followed them since whenever, but I think I was following them like from a pretty early on. And so, yeah, like, I mean, a bunch of the dudes on the roster, I shouldn't name them, but I will. Chris, Oshi, Benjamin, Dreamchild, Masego, Alexander Lewis, Defi, pretty much all of them I really respect. And like, they're all crazy dope musicians. And so to be almost like, promoted and pushed by a team of that like caliber is really like, it really hits home for me. And yeah, like I said, I've been listening to them for a long time, so it's really cool for them to mess with my music when I've been messing with theirs for so long, And like on top of that, the guys who are on the compilation with me, same thing there. Like to be included in a cluster of producers who, in my mind, are of such a high caliber.
Yeah,
it's really cool. So yeah, it was awesome.
Cool. You touched on this a little bit earlier about crowdfunding. Yeah, so you're relatively early in your career compared to some other producers that have used crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Talk me through how you planned your crowdfunder, why you went with Indiegogo, and how you knew you were at the right point in your career to be able to achieve it. Because you're quite early.
Honestly, the last point, I didn't really think too much about it. It was very much an impulse thing. And now that I think about it, it could have been a bit too early. But I mean, it's not like I can do much about it now. Hopefully I don't get too sidetracked. But I think it's cool, like the whole like the young dude who wants to get out to America thing has like, on top of just me making music, has sparked a bit of not just debate but just attention in general. So I think a lot of people actually discovered me through other people pushing that project. So I think that's really cool. But how I went about it, I mean, I just saw, like, I'm pretty sure that, like, again, Soul Action Instagram, you always see those videos of their shows and they're just like just going off, it's crazy. And it's like really inspiring to see that like so many people can just gather in one spot and just like, feel the same thing. And I mean, it happens all over the world, but it's such a niche right now. Well, at least I feel like it is. And yeah, for me to like have the opportunity to get over there and satisfy that niche is like something I really want to do. So that's sort of what drove me to do something like this, because I really wanted to get out to America, but me being a lazy person and I just haven't worked for ages for not a proper job, I thought, how can I make this easy for myself and like have, push my music even further. And it seemed natural. Why don't I make an EP and, try and get some funds off that so people can hear some more of my music. And in return, I can get a little bit of funding to travel to the States next year. So I guess, that was sort of my intention with it. I picked Indiegogo to do that. There's like a bunch of them, like GoFundMe.
And of course Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. I think the reason why I chose Indiegogo was the fact that regardless of how much you raised, you could still receive your funds. With Kickstarter, I think you have to be you have to be fully funded before you can receive any of the funds. And then with GoFundMe, I think you could do that as well. It's just the fees were really weird, and also like eligibility things because I live in Australia and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I picked Indiegogo. And on top of that, I mean, it's a pretty well-known crowdfunding platform, so it seemed like a good choice. And yeah, I guess the last bit was just pushing it as much as possible. Asking it, not even asking, just like pitching the idea to a bunch of producers, coincidentally, who are from the States, and seeing if they were on board with that idea. And I got a lot of like SoundCloud reposts and just general publicity from that, which is really, really cool. And yeah, I guess that's sort of the crux of it.
Yeah, and even dudes like Esther contributed as well to the.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like Joe K and Esther contributed, like, which is, I'm not sure if they just wanted the EP or if they were like on board with the idea, but I think it's cool to see.
Like a little bit of both, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's cool to see like someone who I consider to be like really up there, sort of not like coming down to my level or whatever, but like supporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to clarify, when I said earlier, I didn't mean it in a negative way. It was just to say that a lot of people in your position and at this stage in your career, I would say, might be a little wary and might not think that they'd be able to do. But the way you set it up, like there's only like 3 perks. There's like the EP with the drum kit and the remix tracks, and the EP and the stems. But it was such a smart and such a like neat little package. Yeah, it's like no wonder that it worked.
Yeah, thank you. That's I don't know. I was just trying to, I guess just offer like a good amount of content so that people could pick and choose if they wanted to, and I guess like showcase the stuff that I can do. And so I've only just learnt that I really like making sample packs. So I think I'm going to try and make a few more. And I've actually been approached by a pretty big, I don't know if I should mention the name or not, but a fairly sizable sample pack like company, and they're like, hey, do you want to produce like an exclusive sample pack for us? So I think that's it's cool and sort of opened a few doors for me.
So your first EP was made for the purpose of helping you get to America, and you've now announced your second one, which I believe is called Stay Simple, Go Broad.
Yes, someone got it right. Yeah.
How did I get it wrong?
No. I'm just, some people like. I put up that track with Montel, and in the description I wrote, "Shout out Montel 2199 for this incredible idea. You are God, and I'm just Sid." This is a track off my upcoming EP, mate. So stay with it. And someone thought my EP was called Mate. Someone thought it was called Mate. It's like, come on, give me a bit of credit. But the upcoming EP is called Stay Simple, Go Broad.
Yeah, so how has the process in creating that differed to making Swindail Goes to America?
So I guess this one is sort of, more like I'm making an EP approach to the EP, whereas the Swindail Goes to America one was a bit more of a compilation, like a compilation of tracks that I've done over a certain period of time. So not only did I get to make some funds off of a bunch of tracks for the campaign, but I think it was a really cool way to showcase, I guess, almost the progression over time. The EP had tracks in there that were, finished a week before I released it. And then there was a track that I did 6 months ago, Yeah. I thought it was a really cool way to just sort of show that how I've become different or whatever over a certain period of time. And so that's what I mean when I say it's more of a compilation, whereas this one is all sort of I'm creating this for the purpose of the EP.
If you had to, I don't know if you can, but if you had to pick one song that defined you as an artist, it doesn't have to be from your own catalogue, but what would it be? That is a tough question.
If
you can't just say you can't, and we'll leave it, it's cool.
Oh no! I want to answer this one. There's got to be a good one. And song that would define. Ooh. The thing is, I could make a decision now and change my mind later. Yeah. But there's got to be one.
I guess it's the decision you make on the spot that matters most.
Yeah. I think my tune "Ride Session" is a really good depiction of what the whole Swindail project pushes. The whole the tune that I did, "Ride Session," it's essentially just a jam, like a session. And whenever I play shows and whenever I start out writing songs or whatever, it's always impromptu. It's pretty much always impromptu. I don't approach things with a formula as such. I just mess around and see what works and what doesn't. And the whole ride session thing, it's just a cluster of it's fun, and that's what I want to push. I want to make people happy and have fun, because that's the way I feel. And if I can make other people feel that way, then no brainer.
Awesome. Good choice. What would you say is the biggest misconception people have about you or your music?
Me or my music? I reckon there are a few. I think people take me too seriously sometimes. I'm really sarcastic. For example, I published a post 9 hours ago, and I said, cool and edgy genres to implement in 2016.
That was a great post.
And I just wrote, it was me being a dickhead, right? And some guys commented, the last thing music needs is more subgenres or something. And I was like, for God's sake, you can't be taking me seriously, can you? Like, I think, a lot of people, when I'm just being a twat, people just seem to think I'm serious, and like I actually push really stupid ideas when I'm just being like, I'm just mocking people a lot of the time. That's something that people seem to get mixed up. Also, a lot of people think that I'm way older than I am. In person, I'm really tall, so people giving me ages from anywhere like 21 to 25. I'm 18, so that's one other thing that people get mixed up sometimes. And I do have eyes. Every photo that I have put up publicly, at least with Swindail stuff, my eyes are always closed. I assure you, I do have eyes, and they do work.
Okay, I've actually found one where your eyes are just about visible, and you took it before you were heading to New Zealand. There's one eye, like it's slightly more than the typical crease that you have, or the shape that you have. What's the reason for that? Is there like it's cool, and I think it's interesting, and like especially with like the little like kawaii pose that you have, especially in Japan, the girls would love you. But what I don't know. For that?
It's honestly, it's not like I'm like making a conscious decision to do it. It's just how I feel most of the time, you know. Like I just feel like that chirpy guy sometimes, you know. That I don't know, and that's just like I guess that's the way my face molds itself. When I feel that way, so
molds itself. Okay, that's a new perspective on faces. But I don't understand how anyone could take that post wrong, especially kicks plus 6 decibels. That was my favorite edgy genre, and then like a whole bunch of people were commenting like extra funny ones too.
I love doing this. Just talking smack with people. It's great. It's awesome.
How tall are you then?
I don't know. I haven't measured myself in, I don't know, a year or something, but I think like 190 centimeters ish.
All right.
So,
like 6'4" or something.
Yeah. So tall, taller than average.
Yeah.
Not
ridiculously tall. But still tall.
Verging it, but
on the border, skirting it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you could change one thing about the scene that your music exists in, what would it be? That could be anything from how SoundCloud handles stuff to comments on your stuff or fans or anything. This might be in Australia or like back to when Han was talking about like how it's sort of the same in New Zealand, like how the scene for more underground beat stuff isn't like as big in Australia. And this is two things. One, I wish it was a little bit bigger. And two, I think, especially with like the party culture and stuff here, there's a lot of, not prejudice, but judgment, you know, like, you don't dance a particular way or something like that. There's a lot, people put too much thought into having fun, you know? And I think that if people could just let go and enjoy music and stuff and like not have to worry about like upholding a particular social norm or, you know, that sort of thing, then I think the scene for not just like beats, but just like for music, not even in Australia, just everywhere would be incredible. So that's like the one thing I would change. Awesome. How have your parents and family taken to your success? Because going to America off an EP, like it's an amazing thing. I don't know. It is. It's. I'm quite shocked that even like half of this stuff is happening, you know. But like, I don't know. I think they've done a really good job of keeping me grounded, you know. Yeah. Like, because there's so much opportunity for me just to become full of ego or whatever, and I think it's cool to have like a group who can sort of keep you grounded.
I'm sure they're happy for me, but they also, you know, just want to make sure that things aren't blown out of proportion and, you know, my head's up, not up in the clouds all the time, sort of thing.
Feet on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think in that respect, I think what they're doing is probably the best thing that could be done for me. You know, it's really awesome to see the way they're handling it, because, you know, this is a thing, especially when I said before that my family in general isn't really that musical. So not only is me doing music in general a new thing for them, but, you know, having some success with it, it's completely uncharted territory for them. And yeah, I think the way that they're handling it is pretty spectacular. So yeah,
that's really cool, man.
Yeah, it is.
So,
it's all.
What artists should we be on the lookout for?
Artists. Cool. All right. So Montel's 29.9. You guys all know him. If you don't, you will soon, because I guarantee he's the next to blow. I could say the same thing about Monty Booker. He's incredible. Let's see who else is really changing the game right now. Herzaloid, I think, is doing some pretty incredible stuff as well. We've got a bunch of producer buddies from the States that I sort of work with and talk to and stuff, like Cogway, Harris Cole.
He's a cool dude.
So yeah, just a lot of the guys who are really underrated at the moment. Yeah, there's so many of them I couldn't even begin to list, but hang on, I've got to pick one more. Who is really doing incredible stuff right now? There's too many, I can't pick one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, not at all. Who's the last person that you found and were like, okay, this is someone who's onto something?
Last person I found, there's this guy that I've been sort of vibing with lately. He's from Austria, I think, called Mo Vibes. And
Mo Vibes. Is that M-O?
Yeah, Movibez.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he just hit me up on SoundCloud one day with a message just being like, you know, hey, check my music out, you know, like one of those things. And, you know, now that I get like a few of those messages, I tend to get a little bit like, you know, just another one of these things. But like, I feel like I owe it to whoever's sending the message to, you know, have a listen, because it was not long ago that I was in that position, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always give people a listen, and, you know, I get a lot of average stuff, but this guy just sent me a track piece, and I was really like, you know, I was pretty impressed. And then I looked at like all his other stuff on SoundCloud, and it was really consistent, and he had like a really distinguishable sort of signature and style. So I just reposted like half of his page, and he's been coming out with some really, really cool stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for him.
Good. That's probably how I've heard of him, because I recognize him. Yeah. So it's probably from the replay session. Yeah. So beyond the EP and US tour, what are your plans for the next 12 months?
Okay. Well, it's 12 months, I guess. I'm sort of, I don't like using the term recruiting, but like, yeah, getting a little bit more help with the business or the official side of things. So getting a booking agency, and just, yeah, setting like a plan up with my manager and stuff. And also I'm looking at trying to do Europe as well. So like we've had a few requests coming in from France and London and stuff. So I would really like to get out there if possible, when possible. And lastly, but not leastly, I would really like to finish up an album by late next year. Sort of in, you know, the same fashion that Major Lazer did. You know how they have all those features on like every single track?
Yeah.
I really want to be able to work with like tons and tons of people, big and small, you know, guys who really influenced me and I'm really like, you know, digging. And yeah, do like a big album, yeah, with a bunch of collaborations, maybe run a few like vinyls and stuff. Yeah, I'd really like to be able to put together my first like, you know, big, solid, cohesive work. So that's a big aim for next year.
Awesome. That's it for the questions. Thanks a lot for the interview.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's been dope.
Look inside of my soul and you can find gold and maybe get rich. Look inside of your soul and you can find out it never exists. Look inside of my soul and you can find gold and maybe get rich. Look inside of your soul and you can find out it never exists. I can feel the changes. I can feel the changes. Don't know pain. Paint this picture.